Imagine a hidden website, no Google, no Facebook, no rules. A place where you could buy anything, from rare books to illegal drugs with just a few clicks. A place that grew so big it made over $1 billion, yet vanished almost overnight. This is the story of the Silk Road, the dark web marketplace that promised freedom but ended in betrayal, FBI raids, and a life sentence.
Hey, before we get started, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. You won't want to miss what is coming next.
To understand the Silk Road, you first need to understand the internet's shadowy twin, the dark web. When the internet became mainstream in the late 1990s and the early 2000s, government and corporations quickly built walls around it. Social media platforms rose, search engines dominated, and suddenly the web didn't feel like a free frontier anymore. It was controlled, monitored, and tracked. But deep below that polished surface lay another layer, the deep web, where private databases, password-protected files, and medical records live. And hidden even deeper was the dark web, a small corner only accessible with special software like Tor. Here, users could browse anonymously, free from surveillance, for libertarians, hackers, and rebels. It was a digital Wild West, and soon someone would build the first true marketplace in this wild land. The year was 2011. A young man named Ross Ulbricht, a 26-year-old physics graduate from Texas, had a dream. He believed government control was corrupt and people should be free to live outside the system. Inspired by the libertarian ideals, Ross wanted to create an online marketplace where anything could be traded without rules, without censorship, without oversight. He called it Silk Road, named after the ancient trade routes that connected East and West. Except this Silk Road wasn't caravans and camels. It was code, encryption, and Bitcoin. Ross launched the site quietly. At first, it was small, only a handful of listings, but word spread quickly across forums like Reddit and Bitcoin Talk. Finally, people had a place to buy and sell, free from banks, credit card companies, or government interference. Silk Road was built with two powerful tools, Tor and Bitcoin. Tor masked users' locations, bouncing their traffic across multiple servers worldwide. Bitcoin, still new at the time, allowed anonymous digital payments outside the banking system. Together, they created the perfect formula for an underground marketplace. Users would log in, browse listings, everything from cannabis to LSD to hacking guides, and pay in Bitcoin. The site even had a built-in escrow system, holding funds until both sides confirmed delivery. It looked and felt like eBay or Amazon, but for the black market. What shocked many was the level of professionalism. Vendors had ratings, reviews, customer support, even guarantees. For some, it felt safer than buying drugs on the streets. By late 2012, Silk Road exploded in popularity. Thousands of listings, hundreds of vendors, and tens of thousands of customers. Everything was available. psychedelics, cocaine, fake passports, counterfeit money, and hacking software. Estimates suggest that by the time it peaked, Silk Road had over 100,000 buyers, with total sales surpassing $1.2 billion. Ross Ulbricht, operating under the alias Dread Pirates Roberts, was taking a cut of every transaction, earning millions. To supporters, he was a digital revolutionary. To critics, he was fueling global drug trade and crime. And to the FBI, he was public enemy number one. Silk Road wasn't just a market, it was a cat and mouse game. Every week, law enforcement agencies worldwide tried to track it down, but Silk Road was slippery, hidden behind Tor, payments locked in Bitcoin, and run by someone who seemed untouchable. Ross, as Dread Pirate Roberts, posted philosophical writings defending Silk Road as a platform for liberty. To him, it wasn't about drugs, it was about freedom from state control. But behind the scenes, things grew darker. Fights between vendors, scams, and rumors of hitmen for hire started circulating. Investigators even alleged Ross considered violent options to protect his empire. The utopian dream was cracking, and the FBI was closing in. October 2013. After years of chasing shadows, the FBI finally caught a break. Investigators traced small mistakes Ross made: an email linked to his real name, a server leak, and a trail of breadcrumbs across forums. They tracked him to San Francisco, where Ross lived quietly, often worked from coffee shops. On October 2nd, 2013, undercover agents cornered him in a library. He was logged in as Dread Pirates Roberts, his laptop open, Silk Road admin panel glowing. In one instant, the billion-dollar empire collapsed. Silk Road was seized. Ross Ulbricht was arrested.
If you're still here, I'm guessing you are enjoying this video. Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss what is next.
Ross' trial became one of the most controversial cases in internet history. Prosecutors painted him as a drug kingpin, a criminal mastermind who built the largest illegal marketplace the world had ever seen. The defense argued he was idealist, someone who believed in freedom, not a cartel boss. But the jury saw the evidence: millions in Bitcoin, chat logs, site data, and alleged attempt to hire violence. In 2015, Ross Ulbricht was sentenced to 2 life terms plus 40 years with no possibility of parole. For some, justice was served. For others, it was a punishment far harsher than violent criminals often receive. Silk Road was gone, but its ghost haunted the internet. Within weeks, copycat markets popped up: Silk Road 2.0, Alphabet, Hansa. Law enforcement kept shutting them down. But the cycle continued. The dark web economy had been born, and there was no stopping it. Today, billions still flow through hidden markets, though none have captured the same mythology as the Silk Road. Ross Ulbricht remains in prison, writing letters supported by activists who call his sentence unfair. The story of Silk Road is more than drugs or crime. It's a clash between freedom and control, technology and law, utopia and reality. It shows how man's dream of liberty can spark a revolution and end in a cage. The Silk Road story asks questions we still wrestle with today. Should technology be free even if it's used for crime? Or should governments always step in? The internet promised freedom, but freedom, as Silk Road showed, is messy, it's powerful, and it can change the world for better and for worse. This was the rise and fall of Silk Road, the billion-dollar dark web market that disappeared into the shadows.
Thank you for watching. There are more untold stories waiting. Subscribe now and uncover them with me.